All right, cool, and we're live. So welcome to another Florida Blood Bowl AMA. This is number 11. Very exciting. We got so much stuff going on. And we have Josh painting in the background. Welcome, Josh.
Hey, guys. Working on commission stuff like usual.
Are you using your fancy new desk?
Yeah, this is really cool.
Nice.
Is that, what kind of lamp is that? The thing looks like a flying saucer.
My dad gave me this lamp. It's it's something like from like the 1960s or something. But
is it like a halogen lamp, like a big old?
I just couldn't pass it up. The thing weighs like 20 pounds. It's all steel.
Does it give you the right, like, doesn't cast shadows, or it kind of gives you the exact light you're looking for?
Yeah. And interesting with painting and light is that you paint in one light, and then when you go see it in another, like you always find me kind of like running to the kitchen to see kind of how it looks in like warmer light and stuff like that. Painting just does that, everything needs to perceive. So I just try to make sure that it looks good in like every light, But most of the time I can get my highlights really good with this because it catches the edges and just kind of follow them.
Cool. So Josh is going to be part of the AMA permanently now. He brings a lot to the painting table, so to speak, besides all of his stunty experience and his painting commission experience and his overall Blood Bowl knowledge and experience. We thought it would be cool to have him on the AMA to kind of talk about what he wants to talk about. Yeah. And then we have Jason with us tonight, who does, God, so much stuff. So many numbers, man. I don't know how you do it. I'd want to vomit.
Sure.
At least there's no Common Core and Blood Bowl math, right?
Yes, that is very nice. I just take the numbers, I throw them against the wall. I do whatever the wall says.
Oh, that's cool.
And hopefully Ryan should be with us. He's adulting right now, doing homework and trying to be a responsible adult student. But hopefully he'll get on here at some point, probably when he takes a potty break. Talking on the Florida AMA, taking a shit.
I am so excited about the new GW Undead models. I know there was a lot of flack people had for like the mummies running forward and stuff, but these zombies and skeletons look so cool, and they got so much movement. I don't care if you only get like 2 versions of them or whatever. They look beautiful.
Now, who are you painting those for?
This for what's his name? Is it Brad? It was Clay's friend.
Brian Bommersbach?
I think so. I know if I stopped painting for a minute and looked at it, I could find it.
No, it's not life and death. It's okay. Don't break your concentration.
But I am having so much fun making these look nice, and this is kind of the curse that comes with commission painting, is that you make them look nice. Like, man, now I want that, and you go out and get it, and then you realize you don't really have much time to paint for yourself anymore, which is good. You're not really supposed to if you're doing a good job. So.
One of these days, I'm going to pay you to paint something for me because my painting is terrible.
Everybody's painting is as good as they want it to be. I have some friends that don't like painting at all. They used to play with metal miniatures, but they just like the game, and so that's what they use. Nothing wrong with that.
That's me. I just like the game, the painting. I mean, I'll glue the figures together and stuff. I don't mind that part, but painting ain't for me.
Sure. But it is nice to have something look good. This guy, Clay's friend, he's very new to Blood Bowl, apparently. And so if he comes to Bloody Valentine's, I think he is, I told him I'd try to have it ready for him. And so at least for like a beginner, he'll have a really nice looking team.
Well, that's got to be
either Owen or Bart then.
Oh, Bart.
Yeah, Bart. There it is.
Okay.
Yeah, he's new to our league this season.
I was hoping it was Brian Bommersbach. Is that how you pronounce his last name?
Sounds good to me.
It is now.
I know him and his wife plays with him, or she at least played in a tournament.
They're both in our league as well, yeah.
Oh my God, that's pretty awesome. And I would love for them to. I don't think they'll be playing in the Bloody Valentine's 2, but I was hoping, because right now we're at 24 coaches. So if you guys haven't seen any of my posts, they're kind of getting desperate as we're getting closer to the event. My idea in my head was to leave Allen's tournament with a long-lasting legacy of breaking the Florida record for the highest attendance, which currently sits at 26, which was earned by Old Man Monkey's Three Kingdoms Challenge back in 15 years ago. And then he also came in second place. I think his second Three Kingdoms Challenge had 24 coaches, which ties for second place with Joe Coten's Inconceivable last year, which had 24 coaches. The highest, I think it was the highest attended tournament last year, even though Clay's Ancient City Barrel Bash was voted most favorite tournament. So I don't know.
When you have a really nicely designed tournament, you have more than 3 rounds, and you have beer. That's what you get.
Yeah.
The beer is definitely what can bring you over the top.
Yeah.
You guys should have been at Silver Dragon Cup. Talk about beer. I have not seen tankards of beer that big. I don't understand how. So we went down to the tournament. It was. I'm kind of going out of order here because.
We have an order?
No.
When have we ever had an order?
Yeah.
Probably the same day we decided we were or we're not going to wear pants when we do these.
Oh, yeah,
I
totally.
definitely know I'm wearing pants.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there was a
I got
memo.
pants too.
Yeah, I don't do pants.
This is why we're semi-pro.
What do we got to actually? Let me interrupt my story here because anybody who wants to ask us a question should get priority. So there is a Philip Connor, who I don't know who that is. Were
Welcome
they
to the fun,
leaders?
Philip.
Yeah, welcome to Florida AMA, buddy. AMA stands for Ask Me Anything or Ask Us Anything. So he's asking, were they leaders? Leaders of what? Leaders of soda, like in
Liter Cola.
Liter of cola?
Cola.
Yeah.
No, maybe he's asking like if we have like a. I don't know. If we have.
Were the glasses extra large?
Oh my God, they were fucking huge. Beer at Silver Dragon. Oh yeah, I have never seen glasses of beer. I mean, tankards, huge. They were goddamn huge, and I was impressed watching everybody drink. And I was the only one who didn't drink because I was driving. Yeah, Chris says, "Duh, James." I can't believe it. I just cannot believe how you all weren't like fucking plastered. I mean, I guess over the course of a 10-hour day at Blood Bowl, you're kind of like, I don't know. To me, just watching, it just seemed like an insane amount of beer.
I drink a lot more than I usually do, which is I usually don't drink anything. So it was nice.
From the pictures, it looked awesome.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was fun. I have to give a shout out to my boy John Alberto. Yeah. So both of us survived each other on that trip. So yeah, John was being John, and I wasn't suffering any of it. I'm like, shut up, John. Shut up.
I think we just need that picture of his face on Sock Cat, and then anytime he just cops a tune, we just show him the picture.
No, he was good, but it was beer brings out his inner John. So when you have his outer John and his inner John together, it's kind of unruly. But he did good. He top table Florida. We had ironically 5 Southern Florida coaches and 5 Northern Florida coaches. So we had an even 5-on-5, and apparently we're going to start a little bit of a good old rivalry now. Because they ended up beating us in points by, I don't know, like maybe 12, not by much, by 12 or so. It seemed like they won overall points for the day, North versus South, but we took home the most trophies. But their guy, Joe Abel, who helped put the tournament together with his brother who owns the Silver Dragon Tavern. I don't have enough good things to say about them. They were great hosts. It's a great store. If you're ever down there in Miami, please stop in and go check the store out. I'm looking forward to going back again. And we were talking about maybe doing it as a 2-day tournament. So this way, some of the Jacksonville or Vegas crew could come down and spend some time at Silver Dragon. The
So it
food
was
was
really
amazing.
South Florida versus Central Florida, acting as North Florida.
Yeah, well, anything to them is north. So it's like that quote in Game of Thrones where he's like talking about being south. He's like, "You never been south." He's like, "Go south of the wall. That's north." Kind of the same thing. But no, it was a lot of fun, and I'm glad we did it. And I'm glad they had us down there. Even Chris Nelson saying super fun tournament. It was a great day. So to do it again, maybe sometime later this year or next year, I'm all for it. And hopefully we can, set it up in such a way where we get more of their guys now that they kind of got a taste of it, and get some more of us to if we spent the night over. Set it up. Oh yeah, you got to pause that.
Yep, I'm good. Alrighty. Oh.
So that was the Silver Dragon. Yeah, Joe Abel won that one. Ken Parks came in second.
Yeah, good job, Ken. That was really good. What do you play? You played Amazon, I think.
Did he have the Chris Nelson miniature on the pitch?
I'd be surprised if he didn't.
I don't remember seeing it.
Yeah, that's true.
I think he wants to run that every single chance he gets.
I would. That fucking thing's incredible.
Yeah.
I still remember when during his tournament, when that was given out as a surprise, and Chris was placed one below Ken, and Ken said, "Yeah, I'll take all the miniatures." I saw Chris's face drop.
Oh man.
That's all right. Maybe I'm going to make a Ken miniature soon. We can own that one.
There you go. Chris is going to get the Ken miniature, and then the two of them will have to figure out a trade.
Or just hold them hostage, laugh at each other, do terrible things to them.
Oh, I would totally put him in compromising positions, like doing different things, taking pictures, sending him like as ransom notes to the other.
Yeah.
Ken still probably won't trade that miniature.
Oh, no.
Because that was the first. That was the first. It's very meaningful, that miniature. So that was the second tournament in January. The first one being Voorhees Carnivian, Jason Carter's house on Blackbark Ridge, which was a lot of fun. I went 2 for 2. I played orcs, I think. No, dwarves? Dwarves or orcs? I can't remember. No, orcs. I played orcs. And I played against, God, who was it? Was it Brad Fitz, maybe? New guy. And we had a lot of fun. He's kind of new. We had a good time playing, I remember. I played Rob Peralta, who I never played before. I played Eric. He fucking crushed me. My dice crushed me. So between the two of them making out with each other, they both crushed me. And who did I play? Oh, I played Chris Nelson in my last round, and yeah, he crushed me. I got dice fucked, but Chris just outplayed me as usual. I had a little bit of a lead on him head to head, but I think he's either caught up or surpassed me by now. So it's all good.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really know. Last year my overall goal was Hunty, and now that I'm not doing that, I'm not quite sure what I want my goal to be. I almost want to do like best defense. I almost want to do that because my works had a really good showing at Silver Dragon. That was really cool. And so if I do that and I play a very defensive game, I know, especially if we have tournaments with points, I'm not going to rank very high. Pretty much have to win after. That makes the challenge better for me, and I like that. That's just for me. So.
Well, you and Eric are both off to an awesome start because I'm pretty sure he allowed no touchdowns in Blackbark Ridge, and you allowed no touchdowns at Silver Dragon.
Yeah.
From what I remember, and my memory's shit. So if I remember that, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that was really. I worked a lot on the defense for those Ravens, and I was really happy with them. So. Maybe a little bit of a bias because I love my Ravens, but
it's all right. I think Sky is going to have to try extra hard to defend his most casualties award from last year's Voodoo because Jason Carter has figured out the formula for basically just going in and tearing everything a new asshole.
Yep, that's what he does. And you know what? You play your game. You do what you want to do.
Yeah, you do you. I have no goals left. I played all the 26 teams. I don't know. I just kind of feel like playing whatever I feel like playing. I don't really have a. And I can't even say what I feel like playing has anything to even do with the tournament rule set. It's just whatever. It's kind of like just whatever I'm feeling that day when I wake up in the morning.
Yeah, that's a good thing to do. You just want to play Blood Bowl regardless. That's not bad at all.
I do, and I try not to stress about it. So,
I know personally, I want to not be bothered by dice at all. I want to have so much fun, even like watch a game tank and then have my opponent say, "Wow, that was a really fun game." You know, I really went out of my way to do that. And the undead coach I played had said something to me about that, so I'm on the right track. I really want that. You know, not that I'm ever really like overly a jerk about everything or nothing, but you know, you can always be better at something. I want to be better at sportsmanship.
one of the most fun games that I had in recent memory was when I played against Benji at Jason's River City Dungeon Bowl, and I was playing dwarves because. Wait, was I playing dwarves? No, I wasn't playing dwarves. I was playing undead with the mummies, and he was playing orcs. And we were pissing ourselves laughing because every time his orcs would come out of the dugout, they'd go right into the warp, just for fun, shits and giggle. He didn't care, and I think he only lost one orc throughout an entire match. But we just had a lot of fun. Just I don't know. It was one of those matches where neither one of us were taking it seriously. Like we were taking it seriously, but not like over seriously. And it was just a lot of fun.
Yeah. That's cool. It was Dungeon Bowl.
Yes, I had a great time at Dungeon Bowl. Dungeon Bowl was a lot of fun.
I'm looking forward to putting that on again this next year.
So Jason's house at Black Bark Ridge was a fun tournament, and it had an interesting set piece, which was what was it, a creature? And I forget do you remember how the rule worked?
You had to roll double skulls. Like, say, if you and I are playing, and I roll double skulls, the creature comes out and hits one of your players furthest from the ball. But then after that happens, you got to resolve the double skulls, which usually means you're hitting the ground. I think the creature hits with claws and mighty blows, so you do a standard armor and an injury roll using claws and mighty blow.
Yeah, he had that creature, and then he had a creature at the Dunwich Horror event that we ran at the Voodoo award ceremony.
Oh, yeah. Kept throwing stuff all over the place.
He's got some, I don't want to call it complicated because it's not complicated, but he's got some elaborate shit. I think he's got some kind of like bribe thing working with the tournament approval people. Some people like Howard, it was taking him like months to get his Popo tournament approved. And Jason's like, all right, well, when the moon's in its 10th zenith in the house of the rising sun and, you know, a coyote farts in the desert, then your player will get 5 skills. And is that cool? And they're like, yeah, man, that sounds great. Let's do it. I'm like, how the fuck?
The cool thing I like about Jason is, you know, when he runs a tournament and it has those rules, it is organized, you know, to the point where, you know, he had like extra grid sheets and stuff for us, different ways to mark things, you know, that was important. And that, you know, so it might be, you know, with him, I always expect things over the top because that's who he is, you know, but he definitely does, because I was way to make it organized, and I like that.
It definitely helps. It makes it because it was very smooth, both events. I mean, aside from the alcohol at the tournament at the Voodoo Award ceremony.
Oh my god!
But it still ran smooth.
Yeah.
So that was January pretty much, and now we're into February, and we have just one big event, which is the Alan Mann Memorial event, his Bloody Valentine's 2, and immediately thereafter, Mark Perry's coming to town, and Jason Weaver. The Weave is coming to town. So they're both going to be joined. Jason's going to be there for the entire day, so he'll be playing in both tournaments. Mark is flying in during the first one, so he'll be showing up for his Sin City Sevens in Florida. But it's going to be, like Patrick Wynn said, it's a lot of Blood Bowl. It's going to be a long day of Blood Bowl. And let me just say right now that I want to thank Dropsite Games for having us. Ken found the store out in Orlando, and nobody knew anything about it. They just opened. And you guys, he had his Dropsite Bowl, I think it was called.
Yep.
At the store, and there was only a handful of you guys there. But after you got, from what I heard, I mean, everybody just was in love with the place.
Yeah, I love that place. Love the owner. I like everything he does. He's very generous.
So just listening to your feedback, I couldn't wait to get in there and play at Black Bark Ridge because that was also Dropsite Games. And I can honestly say that I was not disappointed. I forget the store owner's name. He's a younger guy, and you could tell he really cares about his customers. Didn't he buy all you guys pizza when you had your tournament there?
Yeah, pizza. Yep.
So he was very just open-minded about us having Alan's tournament at his store. So I'm going to post the schedule tonight for the event. I talked to him today, and he is cool. We're gonna open the store at 9, instead of 10, and gain an extra hour. So it'll give us a little bit of time to have some lunch, gear up for the evening event. So this way we're not constantly push. Although it is strongly encouraged that all the coaches use the 4-minute timer right from the get-go.
Yep.
Not gecko as in lizard, but get-go as in get the fuck going.
Yes. And I put that in there specifically because I knew we'd have a lot of Blood Bowl.
Yep.
Yes, it is a lot of Blood Bowl. So it is
another thing.
It is a benefit. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
It's just no, that's okay. I just when you talk about like feedback from people at games and the games they play and things they like, rarely ever will somebody say, "Yeah, we didn't get the whole game in, but that was a great game." Like that's why I'm really trying to push people who might be like a little slower or trying to use the game to really step it up and get used to going a little faster. Finish the game. That's all.
Yeah, I think a 4-minute timer is going to work out well. I'm excited for it. I mean, it's definitely not 2-minute timers like we saw over at Death Bowl, but it'll be good.
Chris is already pimping out his Three Kingdoms Challenge team. I mentioned House of the Rising Sun, and he's like, shout out to Howard and the Axis of Awesome. Is that their team name, the Axis of Awesome?
It is until all 3 of them lose in the first or second round.
Then it's the Axis of Asses. Wait a minute. Could your ass actually be an axis, or is it more like a vertical or like horizontal horizon? Vertical horizon.
I guess it depends on which way it's facing.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. If they're Axis players, they could take the actual Axis leaders and make plays on their names.
Chris is sharing their code names. We have Alpha Wolf, Florida Man, and the Popo. How could you stop them? That's pretty impressive.
How can you call John Alpha Wolf? I thought he was a cat.
Didn't I? I thought it was a squirrel. I thought it was a squirrel.
Squirrel, yeah.
His spirit animal.
Yeah.
No, he changed his NAF name too. They all did, the 3 of them. So Chris used to be, I don't know, can't remember, but he changed it to Florida Man, which makes sense. Howard was something, and I changed his to Popo. And John didn't even have the balls to ask me to change his name to Alpha Wolf. He went to the NAF and changed it. Had somebody other than me do it. I guess he didn't want to be, heckled.
I kind of want to change mine, but I've already got the shirt with mine, so I think I'll.
Mine used to be Legion's Realm, which was a old fan magazine that I used to do that had Blood Bowl in it, going back like holy fuck, a long time ago. And then I just shortened it down to Legion. But it's from The Exorcist. It's actually a quote from The Exorcist.
Okay. Yeah, for me, a long time ago, I used to work for AT&T, and that was the name I had for everything. And after that, I used it on my email and everything else after. So,
but did you have it monogrammed on the back label of your underwear?
Yeah. But
then it's not official until you do that.
I'll get right on that.
Zoltan, that's right. And every time I would hear every time I put Chris's NAF name Zoltan in there, I either think of one or two things. I think of G.I. Joe and Zartan, or I think of that fucking genie thing in Big that made Tom Hanks small, a kid. Wasn't that the Amazing Zoltan or something?
Yeah.
I totally think of Dude, Where's My Car? And that like Colt. And every time I hear Zoltan, I think of those like that hand thing they do where it's like Zoltan.
That's probably where it's from. I never saw Dude, Where's My Car? The only part I saw of that movie was where they're ordering the Chinese food, and she's like, and then? He's like, no, and then. And then? No, and then.
Let's just say you saved some brain cells by not watching it. I mean, it's stupid funny, but you got to be drunk. Or high, for those who choose that.
Chris says it's from Dude, Where's My Car? So there you go. A little piece of Florida Blood Bowl trivia for you, where Chris got his NAF name from.
5 points to Gryffindor. Woo!
This is all fodder for if we ever actually do a Blood Bowl trivia. It should be a Florida Blood Bowl trivia, actually. Or bowl.
Points, man. Pointless point system that nobody understands.
I like it.
Gryffindor, you just got 20 points. Is that good? Is that good, guys?
That's very good. So, what could we talk about? Bloody Valentine's 2. Josh did the rule set, and technically he's the TO. I'm just doing what I do and hype it and making sure we get the biggest attendance. Like I said, I'm trying to set a legacy here where Alan's event, will have the most high. Maybe it'll have the record for a while. I don't know. We'll see. I'm trying. I have an idea for next week. So far, we're at 24 coaches. We need to hit 4 more coaches to hit 28 to break the record. I feel like it's like right in the palm of my hand.
We always have last-minute people.
Yeah, but then we also have people who drop out because of diarrhea or worse than that, diarrhea. It happens. Diarrhea has
pretty bad.
I'm pretty sure in life the things you have to fear the most are erectile dysfunction, diarrhea, and then like heart disease.
Yeah.
In that order.
Okay.
Oh, Chris wants Josh to talk about the Allen Man Mini and the special rule.
All right. So the special rule for Bloody. Let me put this down. So the special rule for Bloody Valentine's is this. So I did not go to the original Bloody Valentine. I couldn't make it, but apparently Alan hated stalling so much and that's basically where you hold the ball in front of the end zone and know that your opponent can't get to it. That he made a rule that if you stayed there at the end of your turn, you get a rock. We threw in like 6 hexes, spaces, or whatever. You get a rock thrown at you. So that is why the angry ghost of Alan Man will basically, if your ball carrier ends within his normal movement allotment of the end zone, and you voluntarily end your turn, so not turnover, and he could have made it to the end zone without a single dice roll, which includes go for it's or even stupid. Okay, then the ghost of Alan Man appears and chucks a rock at the guy. Happens at the end of your turn, so it can't end your turn prematurely. But it's one of the big reasons why I kind of mess with the tier system a little bit, because these really fast teams like Skaven, for instance, that have like gutter runners, movement 9. Sure, with thing you can pull it up to where you can try to get like close to a 1-turn touchdown, but you can't do that real quick and then like stall on your following drive, or if you stall, you have to stall like a little further away. So like that's the idea. That's why I kind of messed with the tier system, made some teams bigger, some teams less.
Yeah, that.
Honestly, I don't know exactly how the rule's going to go over. Maybe it'll be really cool, maybe it won't. But I know Alan would have wanted it, so that's why it's in there.
And for that reason alone, I stand behind it 100%. But hey, there's been things that I've done that have caused a few ripples here and there. But I can honestly say I feel that a lot of questions like, why is this team in this tier and blah blah blah. I'm like, because it is. Pick your team and just play. Deal with it.
Yeah. Well, I will be, as promised, I'll be playing Goblins. They are my worst Sunty team. I did well with them in one sevens event against Chris, and then after that, it's been like a straight shot downhill every single time I field them. It's just like Gobra just looks for ways to lose. So, but we're gonna try to change it. Maybe. I think playing Sunty Goblin is trying to win it, right? Maybe, I don't know. But we'll see how it goes.
Chris wants to know who gets the Allen Man Mini.
Oh, yeah, we should do that. So I was asking, it's kind of your event too, James. So do you want it raffled or do you want it as the prize? And I'll go get it real quick. I'll throw that.
Oh yeah, let's see it. There's pictures of it under the event page. If you just go to Florida Blood Bowl and ask to join the group page, because I think it's still kind of private, I'm not sure. But I think Josh posted pictures of the Allen Man Mini, which is fucking amazing. I'm not sure, actually. I'd almost feel like putting it up, it's kind of taking the being a puss about it, but I almost feel like putting up a vote and saying, should we raffle it off or should we give it away as a prize?
Okay.
How many raffles are we going to have at the end?
There's at least...
Let's see if you can see it here. Oh, that light's really crazy, huh?
I saw it for a second. Hold it.
Yeah.
There you go. Hold it. Ah.
Is that better?
Look at that blue beast.
Yeah. So, Allen Man, Smurf Overlord is who we have here. All right. The number 83, what was the shirt that he always wore? I always have a big giant 83 on it, I remembered. And, of course, I got the little Smurf houses on the bottom that he's terrorizing. He's got a bag of Smurf berries. And then he's got that big giant Smurf berry he's going to like whip somebody with. I think that's kind of what you get hit with. It shouldn't be throw a rock. You throw a giant Smurf berry. Probably should be that.
That is an awesome miniature, though.
Yeah. So
what did that start off in life as? A Reaper Bone?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a Reaper Bone flesh golem. And I just tooled it up a little bit. Made the houses and stuff.
That's awesome. Good job on that, Josh.
Thanks. Yeah, Coco draws people. So as I said, it's up to you, James. I don't know if you want to do like winner of the tournament or if you want to do like a raffle for it. Doesn't matter, But
I feel like raffle.
Okay.
I would agree. I mean, the whole point of the tournament is to raise as much funds as possible for the family, so I think raffle's a good idea.
Okay, raffle it is. Unless I posted on the site that you win it. I don't know if I did. Let me make sure.
Well,
that might be good to check.
Yeah, let me double check that real quick here.
I don't think we have any angry assholes who show up with a printed out copy of the rule saying, it says right here, you win it. You win it. I would Rochambeau that motherfucker.
All right, James, what else is going to be raffled off at the event so people know what money to bring?
Josh has been encouraging me, and I use that word loosely. At this point, he's ready to threaten me to post pictures of the raffle items so that people could start to get enticed to crack open their, cobweb-filled wallet. Oh, wait, that's just me. Tap into their bank accounts and drop some money on some raffle tickets for this event. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to try and do that tonight or tomorrow. But I just want to say that the vast bulk majority of the raffle stuff is from Jack Petruccia at Maelstrom Gaming Mats and his wife. When I say generous, that word doesn't even begin to describe how generous Maelstrom was with us in terms of giving us some product to raffle off to help raise money for Alan's sister, who's also going to be at the event at some point. So she's going to regale us with some stories about Alan. And believe me when I tell you, when I met her, she was telling me stories about Alan that my jaw became unhinged and hit the ground. I just couldn't believe it. I can't imagine that man baking cakes, but apparently he used to bake cakes.
He used to bake cakes?
Yeah.
And he didn't bring any cakes to a tournament?
Yeah, wow. All right, let me jump in real quick. So I did say one of the prizes is an Allen Man Smurf Overlord. So
okay, that's fine. We can raffle
prize you win or prize you raffle.
I guess whatever, however you guys want to do it. I don't mind either way. I'm just saying that's what I put on there. So
So there are some very cool pitches. There's a lot of different things from Maelstrom. Dice cups, slammers, dice trays. So what I was thinking about doing, and plus we still have some things left over from Alan's personal collection that we're going to include in that raffle. So I believe there's going to be 2 or 3 main raffles. And what I'm looking, I tried to spend, I put together a lot of tournaments and, pretty good with the budgeting. And I think Ken might have had the idea. If he didn't, and I'm giving him credit, I apologize to whoever came up with it. But somebody said for trophies, because if we weren't doing swag, then people wanted at least trophies, which I'm cool with. They said we should just all do wooden spoons, because that was Alan's trophy of, I don't know if choice would be the right word, but it was the one he earned most often. So I found a very cool company, a guy out in Arizona who I found him on Etsy, and he does laser engraved spoons. And you've probably seen some of the posts that I've been doing, but the stuff is amazing.
It does look great.
He gave me an idea. It was his idea. He showed me a picture of it. He basically turned the spoon into a spork and it looks like vampire teeth, which fits. It looks amazing. So we have wooden spoons for all the tournament winners, or all the the category winners. I couldn't help myself. We're doing a poster, and then there's one other surprise that I'm not going to unveil until the day of. But everybody will go home with something. Tournament dice, you're going to use whatever dice you want to. You could use Alan's dice from his previous tournaments. You could use, it doesn't matter, whatever you want. Just remember that you have to utilize the shared dice rule. If your opponent wants to share dice because he thinks that you're a cheating motherfucker, then
I want John to come, and I want to lick his dice and see if he uses them again after that.
Yeah, he probably.
What if I want to share dice just because I want to fun with your dice?
It's perfectly balanced blue balls dice.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I added the balls on here. Yeah, so the whole Smurf thing, they're talking about it in the chat. The whole Smurf thing started with Alan was so I hate meeples. I should just get a fucking shirt that says I hate meeples, because I guess people are like, dude, why do you hate meeples? So I went to a Blood Bowl tournament and I played against a guy who didn't want to commit to Blood Bowl but wanted to play in the tournament to see if he liked it. So he went and spent $3 on a Meeple Blood Bowl team. He called them goblins. So I struggled the entire match, and so did he, trying to, I think that one's the ball and chain. I'm like, you think that one's the ball and chain? So it was after that, I'm like, fuck meeples. So Alan caught wind of this, and he's like, I'm going to make a team out of all meeples. And then he just kept taking it a step further and a step further. And finally, it was the Smurfs. So I'm like, you know what, Alan? Don't you dare make a Smurf team. And, of course, that was a challenge. So he accepted my challenge and made himself a Smurf team, which now belongs to Howard. And I'm hoping he's going to play that team on that day. And I've never played Howard yet, so it would be so ironic. And it would be like karma, kismet, if I end up playing Howard for the first time and playing against that Smurf team.
Yeah, if he plays that Smurf team, I'm going to be rooting for you to play against him. That would just be awesome.
So, yeah, to make a long story short.
Smurfs is now his most hated thing.
Yeah, I'm not fond of Smurfs.
Meeples is a close second.
I don't know. I think it's a tie. My hatred for both run pretty deep. But yeah, there's the raffles are going to be epic, so to speak. There's a lot of stuff, and I am going to put together packages and get pictures of them so you can kind of plan ahead and see what you want to go for. But I said it once or twice, and I'll say it a third time. I can't thank Jack from Maelstrom Gaming Mats enough for his generosity and supporting Alan's family and Florida Blood Bowl, and really appreciative of the fact that he did that for us. So if you guys don't know about Maelstrom Gaming Mats, you need to look him up, because his craftsmanship is unparalleled, second to none. His pitches are amazing. He does custom pitches. He does whatchamacallit, what are they called? Dice trays. He does slammers. He does what's the other word I'm looking for? Tokens, dice cups. If you have a tournament that you're running and you're looking for a company to do some work with to make your tournament stand out and be memorable, then definitely get in touch with Jack. And if you can't get a hold of him, then just let me know and I will put you in touch with him.
Yeah, his mats are really cool. I have the Florida Man tournament mat that I think he did, and I love it a lot. Tournament champion mat.
So one of our crew is heading out to Vegas this weekend. He's going to the Las Vegas Open, the LVO, where Mark Perry's running his LVO Blood Bowl tournament. So let's all give Patrick a little bit of good luck wishes here as he makes it to Vegas. Hopefully he goes out there. Hey, I heard rumor that Steven Albrecht was going out to LVO. So I hope he goes, and I hope Patrick crushes his ass.
Rooting for you, Patrick. Go kick some butt.
Yeah, man. Kill it.
Yeah. Patrick's been representing Florida since before Florida was Florida.
Yeah, I will say above and beyond, just have fun and meet new people.
Have fun, meet new people, win or don't come home.
No, come home for Alan's event.
Did that last part come out? I'm sorry.
Yeah, he could come home for Alan's event and then I guess go back if he loses. So yeah, February is pretty much just Alan's event followed by the Sin City tournament with Mark coming in. We wanted to kind of show him some Florida hospitality, and I thought it would be cool to run his event here, Florida style. And then what do we have coming up in March?
Really? Is that a question? Is that a true question?
Oh yeah.
Wait, real quick, and I'm sorry before we move to March.
That's okay.
I just want to make sure for Bloody Valentine's 2, for everybody listening, remember on the rules for your skills, I did not limit per player. So if you want to make somebody that has 5 or 6 skills, you can do it. Okay. I didn't limit I don't think I limited the types of skills either. So if you want to have a dwarf team with all block, go crazy, or all guard, I should say. You know, this is the tournament where you can really stretch your limbs out and make something really nice. Also, members like magazines 1, 2, and 3. You know, Destiny 1 and 2. So special characters, everything else. It's all in there. Okay, have some fun with it, but look at all your resources. Look at them all. Okay.
Yeah, and I posted several times today, get the rosters in by the 10th, which is this coming Sunday. So this way it gives not only myself, but Josh, I'm going to ask him to look at them as well. So we'll have a week to look at all the rosters. Don't forget, we have 2 tournaments. The first one's probably going to have 24 to 28 coaches. That's a lot of rosters. And then I would say so far, 100% of the people who are coming for the Bloody Valentine's tournament is staying for the second tournament. So it's going to be 28 times 2, 56 rosters that need to be checked. So please, 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 I beg you, don't wait until the day of the tournament to do your roster. We want to have the most amount of time to do what we need to do on the day of the tournament. The store is being gracious enough to open at 9 o'clock for us, which means registration will be between 9 and 9:30, and round 1 will start at 9:30. So if we could get all the rosters in, if you have roster questions or whatever you need, just reach out to Josh or myself or anybody and ask what you need to ask, but get those rosters in by the 10th, please.
We might need to put a note somewhere on the event or post it out because the event currently has a 10 o'clock. So I know some people from out of town might be counting on that.
I'm going to change it tonight because I just talked to the store owner today, and I haven't had a chance to update the schedule or put one out there. I know a couple of people were asking me for an official schedule because it's such a long day of Blood Bowl. So there will be an official schedule posted tonight.
And remember, if you're using Spike Magazine stuff, to have a copy of the magazine with you. Okay? If you don't have it, go buy it from your local gaming store.
And if you decide to put all 5 or 6 skills on one player, just go ahead and name him Foul Bait, because you know what's going to happen. just go ahead and put that out there now. He's going to get fouled.
Oh yes. Well, you know, if I was my goblins never foul. They're the nicest Gober goblins ever. They will gently help your players back up after they fall into the ground.
Sounds like something Mark Vaughn would say. Come play my feeble, untalented goblins who are just waiting to be killed by you. And then you show up to play him and he mops the pitch with you. That's Mark's. That's how he lures you in, like it from the sewer.
That British accent, man. Yeah, it just lures you right in. You're like, oh yeah, this is like watching a nature show. This would be nice and relaxed, and everything else, and then he kills you.
So what I'm gonna I'm gonna talk about one more thing, and then I'm gonna let you guys, Jason, if he feels so inclined, could talk about the voodoo, and Josh, if he feels so inclined, could talk about whatever Josh wants to talk about. But yes, I did for a split second forget about what was in March. First week of March. This is going to be the first, I guess, real 2-day Blood Bowl tournament since the last Three Kingdoms Challenge, 12 years ago. The original one, the first one, was 15 years ago. So we're doing Old Man Monkey, Jim Lanier's Three Kingdoms Challenge, and it's going to be in Tampa. It is March 2nd and 3rd, I believe, or 3rd and 4th. I got to look it up. It is the 2nd and 3rd. People are going to be coming into town on the 1st. There were rumors of a sevens tournament or a street ball. I think that's kind of been nixed, though. Mm-hmm. However, pay attention. I usually shout things from the rooftop anyway. I've heard rumors that there may be Rat Ogre Bowl on Friday night. I've heard rumors. So we're gonna see what happens. So the Three Kingdoms Challenge is a legendary Blood Bowl event, if you ask me. It may not be a U.S. major, but it's certainly legendary. The first Three Kingdoms Challenge, Games Workshop flew over from England to attend because it was such a big deal. We are bringing those traditions back. If you guys don't know Old Man Monkey, he's a hell of a host, and he loves to shake hands and kiss babies and roll Nurgle dice and all that fun stuff. So there's going to be a lot of throwbacks to the old days of Blood Bowl. It's being hosted at Armada Games. Some of our people went to Armada. We had a Road to Three Kingdoms Challenge event that Josh won, I believe, right?
Yeah. Yep, my Baltimore Ravens pulled out a win.
Very nice.
Yeah, that was good.
So we'll be playing at Armada. And Josh, what did you think about Armada?
Well, I'll say this: it's a nice place. You do have some really nice tables and stuff in there. And the more I thought about it, with somebody as experienced as Old Man Monkey in there and being like, you know what, everything's going to be all right. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. I think we're well. So we're going to be fine. And trust the experience.
I agree 1,000%. I went there. I couldn't make the tournament, but I went to Armada with Ryan before Christmas, and I got to go into the store and meet Michael and look around. I met Aaron at Crucible. He was there. And I will say that out of the vast majority of the game stores that I've been in Florida and beyond, they had the most shit on the shelves that I've ever seen for all the Blood Bowl stuff. I mean, they had so much Blood Bowl stuff on their shelf. I was thoroughly impressed.
Yeah, that was really cool. And I should have bought their Nurgle Spike magazine, but I did not. So.
Eric is in the chat asking, how do I join the chat?
You use the internet.
Yeah, get the files out of the computer. How do we get the files out of the computer? It's like my favorite scene in Zoolander. Well, actually, that's a lie. The whole movie's my favorite scene in Zoolander.
It's true.
The first one. I still haven't seen the second one. I refuse.
I haven't either. I need one.
So yeah, Three Kingdoms Challenge. It's Jim wanted to do. So World Cup is coming up, and there are a lot more tournaments that are being geared towards prepping coaches who plan on going over to play in Germany or Austria, at the World Cup. And this is going to be a team event as well, so there'll be a team dynamic. And if you are not wanting to join a team and just play an individual game, that's fine. So there will be a team win, and there'll also be an individual win. So if you were thinking like, oh, it's a team challenge, I'm not going to go and play, that is not an issue. Come out and play at Three Kingdoms Challenge. You are still able to compete on individual level. There'll be a tournament winner, and then there'll be a team tournament winner. So that's going to be the biggest difference between this Three Kingdoms Challenge, I think, and the previous ones, aside from all the new rules and whatnot. But we're very much forward looking to running this tournament with Old Man Monkey, and can't wait.
One thing we should probably mention, since we're on the discussion of this tournament and the team aspect, voodoo points for this tournament specifically are going to be a little different. Voodoo points are going to be earned by team results, not individual results. It's going to be similar to how Death Bowl was run last year. So whoever comes in first place as far as the team, those 3 members are going to receive first place points for all 3 team members. Whichever team comes in second is going to receive 4th place points because there are 3 competitors finishing ahead of them. So they would drop to 4th, and they would receive 4th place points. And so on and so forth down the teams.
You know what I'm going to ask you next, don't you?
I
What?
don't understand what you just said.
I'm going to ask, what if
I
you're not
listen, I just don't understand.
the miniatures are talking to Josh. He can't listen to us talk and listen to the miniatures saying, paint me, not that color, no.
I guess like I know when we did, what was it, I was at Crucible when I did that. I remember I didn't I dropped some kind of place, but it's because I was individually compared to Chris, who had like 10 million touchdowns, and so I guess is it different or is it the same? Is that what you're saying?
When you're going back to Crucible, Jim had to put things in an individual result in order for the NAF to accept them and all that. But as far as voodoo points, you earn them based on team finish, not individual finish. So your team finishing 3rd would have earned the finishing points for the 3rd place team, not for what you finished individually.
All right, that's cool.
So my question is, what if you're not on a team and you're playing individually?
Well, we did discuss that between all of our great minds, if you want to go ahead and put quotation marks on that. Unfortunately, if you are not playing on a team, you will not earn voodoo points. You need to be on a team. This is a team tournament.
Yeah, makes sense.
Someone once mentioned that if they want the voodoo points bad enough, they will find a way to find 2 more people and get on that team.
Yeah.
I'm sure if we have
All right.
one individual by themselves, we're going to have a couple staff members who are running the tournament that are going to want to play and join that team.
Yeah, Ryan brought up a good point, because I think originally it was going to be I was going to be on a team with, actually, I think I need to have this conversation, because I was going to be on a team with Eric and Nick, Nick Phillips, but I'm not sure if Nick is going to be able to make it out there. And it's important for us to have ringers, and I don't think Jim's going to want to play. So Ryan and I were looking at being the ringers. So if we got 2 guys to show up who need it, see, the only problematic issue is that the teams have to be 3 different tiers. So if we get people who show up and we need to build a team, we need to make the tiers A, B, and C.
So whoever those ringers are need to be prepared to play any one of those 3.
Well, then there you go. And I have no problems with that. I could bring a tier B and C team. I don't really care what I play. I'm going to have fun no matter what. So.
Right, and we'll have extra teams and stuff for people, and be able to have a proxy as long as you got numbers, that kind of stuff, I imagine.
Okay, that works for me.
Yep. All I know is everybody better bring a good amount of people and stuff. Jacksonville has already been planning for this. We already got pens made. We got have shirts made. We're going to have our dice, our patches.
Oh, shit. The cat's out of the bag. Eric just heard that we're breaking up the team that we didn't quite form all the way. I'll still be on your team, Eric, but I don't like if I don't know. It might be better for you to find like Nick Blackie or somebody else in Gainesville, Adam Cadlick maybe, and you guys could be Gaines Vegas team, seeing as how Howard kind of jumped out of Gaines Vegas to be with Alpha Wolf and Florida Man.
He abandoned you.
Oh. In quotes, Eric says, IMMA, form my own team with blackjack and hookers. Don't forget the Coke.
Yeah.
Because you're going to need that. Yeah.
Don't worry, Eric. We're going to get our revenge on them when we have our Civil War tournament later on this year.
Ooh, Civil War tournament.
What is this?
Oh, Frank just stepped up to the plate and said, Eric, I'll be on your team. Oh, shit. Here we go.
Nice.
Civil War tournament.
Eric and I were throwing around the idea not too long ago about creating a tournament where it's specifically North Florida versus South Florida. And it's just a civil war. And you always play someone from the opposite side of the state.
Where does Melbourne fit in? We're like in the middle.
Probably going to be South. I would say you're going to see Miami South, Tampa will be South, Melbourne will be South. You'll see Gainesville and Jacksonville probably North. And Orlando, whichever side gets the fewest amount of people.
What about Tampa?
Tampa's probably going to be South.
What about Michigan?
Out-of-towners are going to fit in wherever we need them.
Eric says, I created the Howard and Chris dynamic. You've been sending too many messages. Take a break and try again. Paul Fixel could be third, Eric. He won best defense last year. He'd be worth having on the team, definitely.
Well, anybody's worth having on the team.
Yeah, that was kind of insensitive of me to say. Although I can name a couple of names.
Maybe not.
Tampa South, LOL, stupid Bulls. Did he mean to say balls? Yeah,
Maybe,
but
I mean, that's USF.
Eric might have. Oh, there you go. I don't know anything about football, yet I love Blood Bowl. Eric may be taking credit for creating the Howard and Chris dynamic, but I came up with their name at Crucible, Florida Man and the Popo. That was all me. Lest ye all forget.
Oh, we all forget.
I set up Howard and Chris at Dungeon Bowl. Yeah, Eric is like the Blood Bowl matchmaker. Racists stick together. Hashtag. Oh, God. I don't know what's worse, that he wrote that or I said it out loud.
I think we're going with out loud.
Yeah, probably. He can change the name of his Blood Bowl team for this event to the Liam Neesons.
Nice.
Yeah. If you don't know what I'm referring to, then Google it. I'll leave it at that because I like Liam Neeson.
So,
it's on Facebook. Go ahead.
Didn't you mention there was going to be like different tiers as far as registration for Three Kingdoms? I didn't know if you wanted to talk about that.
I wanted to, but it's just going to be standard registration.
Okay.
It's going to be a flat fee. I'm probably going to offer T-shirts as an option. So I've been saying this, that I'm going to announce this stuff for like the last week, then the last couple of days. So, I mean, I've never seen so many people who just want to give me their money. It is like the meme come to life. Shut up and take my money. But yeah, people need to plan for stuff, so I'll make sure I get that out there tomorrow. While you guys are talking about stuff, because I can't shut the fuck up. I just keep talking and talking and talking. While you guys are talking, I'm gonna put together the schedule for Bloody Valentine's 2 on the page now that I know exactly what the fuck's going on. So why don't you guys take it from here and talk about stuff?
Sure. Well, hey guys, I'm really I'm really excited for Bloody Valentine's 2. I know when I made the rules, it's very freeform, and I can't wait for people to make something just really crazy and off the wall they just haven't seen before. It's almost like a mini Grand Arena, you know. I was really close to that once you add the skills and stuff, so it just depends. But that's why I really liked it, you know, do that. Even taking into consideration Spike Magazine's like new star players, new inducements, the Weather Mage is only 30,000. You know, some other stuff that are really cool. So, you know, cheerleader special character that gives you a character to play with as well as cheerleaders.
So is the Weather Mage in for the tournament, Josh?
I think so. I think I put it in there. Let me double check before I put my foot in my mouth here. Let's see. Unless it's already in my mouth. Let's see here. Yeah, I think I said just about everything from the Spike magazines. You know, kind of wanted to move to that because that's the whole point of having new rules and stuff and getting the new stuff. You know,
Yep.
Is to start adding some of the things. So, let's see.
I'm all for it. I think it's going to be interesting.
There we go. There we go. I did the time on here. Yeah, all legendary coaches, staff, wizards, and star players are available to purchase as a permanent part of the team.
Nice.
Yep.
You know, the only thing I don't like about all the magazines and stuff is I don't like that they have kind of like a master sheet for TOs to have to just double check everything's right. I know the NAF has put together their thing, but for anything in the death zones or anything in the Spike magazines, they don't actually fill in what the skills are or what the stats are. So it kind of makes it a little difficult as a TO to be like, oh, I guess you better have the magazine. You know, you can't take your friend's word for it who tells you this is exactly what it is.
No. Yeah, no, I know. I just put, you need the magazine. I'm just trying to support, buy-in Bloodborne and stuff. Not everybody loves Reaper miniaturing everything like I do.
I love Reaper. They put out some awesome shit. And Bones just makes it so easy to convert stuff. Or play a cheap team as opposed to whoring yourself out and buying fucking meeples. Oh, wait. Sorry about that. Just came out. Can't help myself.
There's a little bit of anger right there.
Yeah, it's been bottled up for a while, like a genie in a bottle.
Wow. Chris Tellison, beat the hell out of it, Bob Ross.
Yeah, it sounds like he's like whipping pasta or like. Oh, Eric just posted some kind of historical data on Facebook in the chat. God.
Historical data. Well, he's a lawyer. He's going to do that.
That is true. He knows where to find documentation about stuff.
Wait a minute. That's perfect documentation for the fact of I posted it 3 people before him. What are you talking about, Eric? Oh, this picture's going right into the AMA notes.
Chris is like, that's my wanted ad. Oh, boy. Fuck Tinder. It's more like the Blood Bowl wanted ads. New teammate. He's willing to help Florida man score multiple touchdowns with Skaven team. Camry coaches should apply.
Oh, man.
Who mentions Howard's name first? His mom. I'm pretty sure his mom.
Yeah, could be.
I would say so, yeah.
Well, I don't know. I guess, yeah, I can do a little thing on Stunty. I know some people are looking to play that.
Rob Peralta is sitting on the corner of his bed with bated breath, listening to every word come out of your mouth.
He wants that Stunty crown bad this year, doesn't he?
Right.
He's committed. He committed early. He's like,
Yeah.
so kudos, but he doesn't realize that I'm playing a year of flings once I get my team. So once I get that team, I'm going to be his worst nightmare.
That's a challenge. So let me go over when it comes to Stunty. Yeah, there was a big topic I was looking at with regards to third teammate, and some people asked her like, "Can you third teammate all the time? Do you do as much as you can, et cetera, et cetera?" They're like, "Because it's a one-turn touchdown, yada yada." And what I encourage you to do is look at dice odds when you think about your overall strategy. So, whenever you actually multiply, and let's take like the guy, let's take the tree man for the halflings, who has the best chance to throw to actually be allowed to throw. So let's say like in one turn I have to pick up the ball, I have to hand it off to a halfling that happens to be next to him. I have to be able to throw the halfling, I have to be able to land, and then I have to hope that the scatter makes me go close enough to the zone. Once you multiply, and whenever you're multiplying continual dice averages, like handing off is a 66, a 67%. You multiply that by the next handoff, 66.67, etc. Once you multiply just those 4 things together, and you don't even take into account the random scatter, your chances of success are at 24%. You add in a reroll for one of the handoffs, it increases to, I believe, a 28. And that's with a tree man who's the best at throwing with a strong arm. Okay, so when it comes to throw teammate, that is a last resort maneuver. It's last resort, period. Okay, that is, you need this to tie. You only have 1 turn left before the half. That's why you use it. Otherwise, you're pretty much just gifting the ball back to the other team so that they can control it again. Okay? The idea of Stunty is to use their 3-up dodges, to use their actual dodge and their stuntiness to get so close to the actual end zone that you can just sneak your way in. That's how I win most of my games with Stunty.
So one thing I want to point out with that as well, I mean, on your ogre teams, I think so many people, when they see ogres, they think the snots run the ball. I don't see you use snots for ball running.
No, I don't. Ogres make great ball handlers. Yes. And I did this at Chaos Cup too. I made a very defensive, mobile ogre team. So I'm trying to remember the team makeup. I think I had 4 ogres with dodge, with a break tackle, and I had, I think, 3 or 4 with pro. And I would elect to receive if I could, and then the ball would go back. And I would use the Snotling to pick up the ball and hand off to an ogre in the middle of the field. I'd use that ogre's pro to try to re-roll if he could. If he succeeded, that's fine. If not, I had him and some snots around it, so it was pretty safe if I failed or succeeded. But when I succeeded, and I usually did, because you have your 4-up with pro re-roll, I think makes it like a 44% chance. Or no, a 68%, I think is what it ends up being. I could be upper. I got to do the math again, but that's an ogre catching the ball with pro as a reroll. Then you move them. But your guys in the front, instead of taking the free hits and hoping that 2d6 gets you a casualty, instead use their break tackle to move them back, and you make an ogre cage. You make an ogre cage with 4 ogres around and 1 ogre in the middle, and your opponents don't know what to do. It's kind of fun to watch.
You sadistic bastard.
You don't. And then in later turns, you can be really conservative with it. It can be like, oh, well, one of the ogres on my cages decided not to move this turn, and I rolled my second one, and he decided to bonehead as well. You know what? We're just going to take a break this turn, move some snots around it, wait till next turn, see if it's better. You can do that with an ogre cage, which is nice. So that is my Stunty tip of the day. That, and if you really want to run and pay attention to your percentages dictate your best possible overall play actions.
Very nice. Hey, I got to play those teams eventually if I want to get my 26, so I'm paying attention to them. Except for halflings. The heck halflings.
We already played them, right?
Halflings again, yes. Played them in Stunty Slam. I was garbage. You know what? I might do some great things in this game. I will not be a halfling coach. That is just not going to happen.
Well, it's not for everybody, I was kind of thinking, I was also, because I was putting numbers together, I was thinking about, what am I going to talk about Stunty today? I don't know. I was also thinking about, why it feels so good to play Stunty. And some people just don't quite understand. It's not that they don't understand, but everybody has different values, and that's okay. My thing is, if I look for the very best team possible to win every single tournament, and I crunch all the numbers, and I ultimately end up playing some form of elf or something really high flying, passing, or I end up playing like Chaos Wars because they have really good odds of doing things. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Go ahead and do that. You still have skill when you play and you throw stuff out there. But when you take a team where the odds are against you and you still find a way to make it work, even to a tie, like that to me is worth more than a win, and that's why I like it. That's the thing. Sunday team, there's no margin for error. Like I can't be like, oh, my ogre dropped the ball because I decided to do something risky. I can recover from that. No, I will probably not be able to recover from that. I promise. That's the difference. Like an elf drops the ball, double one goes next to him. Unless you get that elf away from the ball or something, they can still find some crazy way to jump in there and try to turn things around. So that I feel like is kind of the difference. It's that margin of error that you just don't have with Sunday teams. So you have to play smart. You have to make all the right decisions. And even when you do, just like Captain Picard says, you can still fail.
Some good advice right there. All right, what else should we
about done with the schedule? Upcoming tournaments beyond February.
Okay, well, we talked about March. Half of March. The other half of March is James's Blood Bowl camping event.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around that. I haven't settled on a location yet exactly. There seems to be a lot of interest, and this has the potential. I've had a lot of people ask me like, "Hey, can I bring my wife and kids?" And I'm like, "Dude, the more the merrier. I don't care. I mean, as long as I'm hoping that you play on Blood Bowl on Saturday. So if we did a camping trip, like stay over Friday night, get up, play Blood Bowl Saturday, have a nice cookout, because I'm pretty sure wherever we go, I'll be renting. You don't have to do a reservation on the pavilion. However, I'd want to, and that's probably what I would put some of the money towards. The entry fee, it would be towards renting the pavilion, because this way it's ours. And if we want to hang out there for 12 hours, then, or until sundown, whatever the case may be, then we can. And we can also have a cookout while we're doing it. I don't know. There's a lot of potential for this to be a lot of fun. I don't know. I love camping. I'm looking forward to going camping. I hope it. Right now, I'm still focused on Alan's event with Josh, and then I'm focused on Three Kingdoms with Old Man Monkey. So I can't even say it's 100% a lock yet. I guess I'll know probably before the end of February if it's going to be 100%.
Okay.
But I want to. I mean, let's put it this way: even if I don't do the Blood Bowl, like making it like an NAF tour, I may still go camping and then just see if people want to show up and play Blood Bowl and say, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I gotta get through all this other stuff. Well, what else do we got?
After that, we have Ken's weekend in April of Hookie Bowl on Friday and Loser Bowl on Saturday. I think it's the first weekend in April. I'm not 100% sure, but.
And I do want to thank Ken for being gracious. We had the idea of making sure that Alan's event got such a good turnout by pushing any other events, because originally Ken's events were scheduled for February. And when we presented the idea to him, he was gracious enough to move his tournaments to another month. So this way Alan's tournament gets the most attendance that it possibly can, not being, people having to choose between this tournament and another tournament.
Yeah. And that takes us 3 months out, which if we don't do another AMA before 3 months, then check the Facebook page for the upcoming events.
Yeah, the last AMA we did was back in December. We didn't really do one in January, although we're just out of January, so it feels like longer than it actually was.
Yeah, maybe we can have a pre-Three Kingdoms AMA.
Yeah, that's possible. That would make a lot of sense, actually. The issue, so for anybody who's listening or will listen, I would love to do Rat Ogre Bowl. There was talk of running a Sevens or running a Street Bowl, but we can't do it at Armada because they have other games going on and there's not enough room for us. Somebody threw out, well, why not at Grand Arena, but that's a club which requires people to have a membership in order to go in and play.
Why don't we just take over whatever lobby most people are getting a hotel at?
That's a possibility. I'm fine with that. But seeing as how we didn't get to play Rat Ogre Bowl at the Voodoo Tournament award ceremony, I think it would be a cool icebreaker. And have some beer, play some Rat Ogre Bowl, and it's not anything that really needs to be heavily organized. We don't need an entry fee. We don't, just play Rat Ogre Bowl.
Yeah.
I like it.
I get to use the Rat Ogre in these. It's very cool.
Yep, that which was a very awesome looking Rat Ogre.
I'd be up for that. I'm sure we can organize something. So, I guess general Voodoo news at this point?
Sure.
So, after the first month of Voodoo, don't forget the Voodoo point system is different this year. Only your top 10 scores are going to count. Fortunately, we've only had 2 events, so both are counting so far for people's scores. The reigning champion, Mr. Chris Nelson himself, had 2 very good showings in the first 2 tournaments and does have the lead. I would make a comment, though. If Clay actually makes 10 events this year and does well, he could be a force to be reckoned with. He has the single most points in an event so far this year, earning 15 at House on Black Park Ridge. So that was a fairly good showing for him in that tournament.
Yeah, Clay did really well. Good for him.
Outside of that, don't forget those who are listening to this, whether now or in the near future. There is a group of us putting together stuff for a possible bid for the Amorical Cup team event. If you know about it, then you know what's due from you. If you don't know about it, then why aren't you helping us? So ask us.
Yeah, there's Canada, and Canadians will tell you otherwise. But there was a rumor going around that it was a done deal that Canada was getting it. But from everyone that I've talked to in Canada, they said that's a bullshit rumor. And we're all going through the bidding process, and I know that there are possibly 2 factions up in Canada that are putting in bids. Florida's putting in a bid. I can't remember if I saw anywhere else, but that may be the surprise. You don't know how many different areas. I think for World Cup, there might have been like 4 bids from the sample documentation that was put out there when the Amorical first came around. I had asked Nate if all that stuff was like public record, and it was on the NAF forums. And I want to say there were like 4 different venues. One of them was in Australia. They used the Sydney Opera House as the venue.
Yeah, I saw that.
Wow, cool.
There. I will say, speaking of Australia, there's no chance we're getting any of those people if it's in Florida. I'm sitting here doing flights and airfare now because that's part of the bids thing that they want. Holy cow, that's like a full day and almost $1,200 round trip. Anybody comes from Australia, your first beer's on me. And you know what? Your second beer's on me. How about that?
There you go.
Yeah, but aren't flights from here to Austria like roughly $1,000 round trip?
I don't know. If Austria's on this list, I haven't gotten to it yet.
I meant for like the coaches going to the World Cup. Because I could have sworn I remember Patrick Wynn, because he's going.
I do see a couple European locations at about 1,000, 1,100 right now.
Yeah, so I don't think it's anything outrageous. I think that's just what international flights are.
Man.
The worst one I've ever heard was New Zealand, which is, not exactly Australia, but I worked for a company in the locomotive industry, and some of our guys were going to a trade show in New Zealand, and I remember the plane tickets were upwards of $2,000 or more. Like New Zealand is worse than Australia, so. But yeah, I'd be curious. I know Eric's going. So who's all going from Florida to World Cup? Patrick and Eric, right? John was talking about going, but I don't think he's
going. I think he has some family over there in Europe, and I think he's going.
Who's that?
I think it might be Owen. He's going to be at the tournament next weekend, so you'll have to ask him.
Cool. Representing Florida.
That's really cool. Yeah. That's neat.
All right, I think I have the schedule sorted. So I'm going to run down the schedule for Bloody Valentine's 2. So 9 o'clock registration. Round 1 begins at 9:30. Round 2 begins at noon. So that's 2.5 hours to get your match in. and get a good foothold for the day. Round 2 begins at noon. Round 3 begins at 2:30, so that would be another 2.5 hours, and then that'll go until 2:30 till 5 o'clock, and then we'll do the awards and the raffle winners from 5 to 5:30. 5:30. I mean, I could push it till 6, like to give people time to grab dinner or something. But right now, the way I just have it structured is Sin City Sevens round 1 begins at 5:30. I've seen it both ways, and I know Mark talks a lot of shit about Vegas, where they play matches in like 40 minutes. I've run sevens events. There are a lot of coaches who struggle to finish a sevens event in an hour. So I was trying to put a little more time, like an hour and 15 minutes. So round 1 would start at 5:30. Round 2 would start at 6:45, and round 3 would start at 8 o'clock, which would then put us at almost 9:30, where the store is they're opening early and staying late. So it's going to be 13 hours of Blood Bowl, 9 a.m. until 10 p.m.
The only issue I see is food. People getting lunch, people getting dinner.
And like I said, I could push the start of the sevens to 6 o'clock. So this way people didn't want to hang around for the award ceremony and the raffle. They technically should be done with their matches before 5. Then they could take dinner from 5 to 6. Then we can start round 1 of sevens at 6. And that would still get us done by 10.
Do we have lunch options around us in that area?
Probably. I mean, I could certainly ask the store owner and find out what. I'm
sure there's some options that we can order too, like maybe a Grubhub or things like that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
If the store owner could find a way to have a list of that, that would be awesome.
Let's put it this way: if Josh or I are both, we already know that if we have an even amount, we're both playing. If we have an odd amount, then he's going to play, and I'm going to be the ringer. So I can organize a food order for everyone. We'll go around, take everybody's order, do a Grubhub. I don't really care, but I mean, they got pizza from there before that was delivered. And Jason got pizza for Black Bark Ridge. He ordered pizza for everybody.
Yeah, I'm sure we can figure out a lunch thing, and then dinner everyone's got an hour. Just go to a fast food place, grab something, bring it back.
So if we did 9 to 9:30, and that ended at 12.
I think if we push to 4 turns, we'll be done probably 2 hours, maybe 2:15. We could probably start the next round early.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, if we keep everything moving along, 2.5 hours is enough time for everybody mostly to finish their matches. And if somebody's stuck playing still, then they could say, "Hey, if you're running out, grab me something." So I'm going to run it down one more time. So 9 to 9:30 is registration. Round 1 starts at 9:30. 9:30 to 12 is round 1. That's 2.5 hours. Round 2 starts at 12 and goes to 2:30, 2.5 hours again. And I don't think everybody's going to use that. I see coaches finishing under 2. And then the last round will run from 2:30 to 5. All right, so I'll put the break in from 5 to 6, and we'll start Sin City at 6.
Yeah, I mean, we could do raffle stuff and, like, trophies and all that right at the end real quick. If people want to go out and grab a bite to eat, if they win something, then when they come back, it will be there.
All right, so if I do 7:15, that's an hour and 15 minutes to run a sevens. And we're basically playing with Mark's rules, where there, aside from like a special rule, there aren't any rerolls. Period. I don't think. He generally doesn't run with rerolls. Like, instead of it being double cost, I think he just banned them altogether. I'd have to go back and look. I think they're going to go by pretty quick.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. If you have no rerolls in sevens, sometimes your turns don't take long. And if you use like a 3-minute timer, which really for sevens, 3-minute turns should be plenty. Especially if you just got done playing 4-minute turns in the previous event.
9:45 will be done, which means we'll still be done and out of there before 10 o'clock. So I was thinking of something before when I posted something online about and I certainly appreciate what you posted back in regards to being able to get stuff out of a store with your store credit, if that's what we're doing for prizes. Which we're going to be doing some store credit as our way of kind of saying thank you to Drop Site for having us there for a full day.
Absolutely, and hopefully they got some more Blood Bowl stuff in there. I want to buy some stuff.
Well, that's what I was going to say. One of the things that he's told me, and I saw you do it, is if you know you're going to be there, you can order something and get a discount. So what I was thinking is if there's things that you know you want to buy, or pre-order them through the store, and we could do a group order to make life easy on them. And then if you win, just pay for it at the end of the night with the gift certificate from the store. Yeah. Or if you were going to get it anyway, then just buy it anyway. But at least you have the opportunity to win store credit to pick up whatever you were going to order.
Yeah,
does that make sense?
You do have 4 rounds for that sevens tournament as well at the end, right?
Nope, forgot about that. So that it can't be. I only got 3 rounds. It has to be 4 in order for it to be voodoo.
Yep.
In all honesty, I'm not concerned if it's not voodoo.
Yeah, I mean, worst case scenario, if we got to do 3 rounds, it's a rare exception.
So you're already coming off a full day of Blood Bowl. Then you're getting into another Blood Bowl tournament, which we're kind of doing for Mark coming to Florida.
Yeah.
So you have your voodoo event from the day. I don't know if anybody's going to raise holy hell that we drop this out of voodoo and make it a 3 round. So that it's a little bit more relaxed and we're not – because I've seen it before where people are fucking frustrated when they can't get their matches done in an hour. Not all coaches play at the same speed.
Well, I would say make that decision at the event because I'm pretty sure you're going to have a few people who are coming because it is 2 voodoo events. And they're able to get 2 voodoo events worth of points. So, I mean, if the coaches all agree, just go 3 rounds and keep it a voodoo event. I mean, this is one of those rare exceptions that may need to be had. We'll have to decide at that time, but I think you're going to have a decent amount of coaches that are going to want both events to be voodoo.
Well, it's up to me. Let's put it this way. It's up to me and you. We run the tournament series. And if you got somebody who's willing to commit, not just like the majority of a day, but some people are driving 2 hours. So you got a 2-hour drive, 12 hours of Blood Bowl, and then another 2-hour drive. So I have no problems making this the only exception on the year where we allow for voodoo with it being a 3 round. I
would say we're going to aim for 4, but if time constraints happen, we reserve the right to drop it to 3, and that'll be a game time decision, and tournament still counts. So aiming for 4, but if it happens to be 3, it's 3, and it's going to still count, and everyone's going to know that to start.
Well, then I'm going to put it on the books as an hour per. Well, how many turns are there in sevens?
12 total per side.
So what's 6 times 4? 24. So if you use the 4-minute timer and you go 6 rounds, oh no, it's double that.
Yeah, well, it's 12 each team. I would not go 4-minute turns. I would go 3-minute turns.
Oh,
so
boy.
a total of 24 turns times 3 minutes. Looking at 72 minutes. Like you said, though, with no rerolls, you're going to have some turns end short. So you'll be pretty close to about an hour.
All right, I'm going to put it on the books as an hour.
If we got to extend, we got to extend. We'll do it at that time, and everyone will be okay with it or not. Oh, well. Sometimes you got to make snap decisions.
Yeah, makes sense with time. Also, important.
Okay.
I think this is the only time this year where we're running 2 events on the same day. So.
Did you say it's the only one? I think it is the only one.
Yeah, I think this is the only time it's 2 events on the same day. It's just because of a unique set of circumstances that it happened.
How many did we have last year? 1 or 2?
Just 1. It was actually Josh's first Snuffles Wild event paired with your either February or March Sevens event. Both happened on the same day. Now, granted, it was followed with an additional event the next day. That's what happened with the hat trick. But
okay. All right, schedule's done. Uh-oh. Why didn't it let me save it? Why? Everything's red.
I agree with you.
Uh-oh. I fucked something up. Why? Why is it red? Sin City Sevens round 1, 6 p.m. And this one starts at 7. Why is it red? Oh, shit. Fuck you, Facebook. It's being stupid.
Stupid is, stupid does, Jam.
Oh, I must have screwed something up somewhere. Wait. 7 p.m. Start time cannot be later than event end time.
Change the event end time.
Oh, is it AM, PM?
And that's all PM. Son of a bitch.
That's all right. It'll get fixed. Maybe just post it as a.
No, I want to use the official event schedule.
Well,
God damn it.
All right, guys. As much as I hate to do this, I actually got to jump off here.
No problem. It's 10:09. I mean, we're doing it for 2 hours. We're almost at the 2-hour mark. So Ryan stood us up. He went out with his other date, schoolwork.
Schoolwork.
Yeah.
Schoolwork.
I think I might go to Taco Bell and spend an hour in the shitter. So that'll be good.
Nice.
All right, gentlemen. Well, then I will see you all in less than 2 weeks.
Yep. For those coming next weekend, looking forward to playing Blood Bowl with you. Hope you guys have a great game. Unless you play me, hope you lose.
All right, man. Have a good night.
I will end by putting the zombie up.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's pretty.
You getting there?
Look at that. I'm gonna be jealous of that team. Not gonna feel bad when I foul it in the league, but I'm gonna be jealous.
I really love the bandages on the new models. At first, I was like, "My God, all these bandages!" Then they look really cool on them. So, what's neat with zombie skin? I've been kind of experimenting with skin colors on, especially on like dead things, because I really like doing them. And traditional skin tones, like you'll have like one, and then maybe it's a wash, then they do like a highlight on it and some other stuff. And I wanted to kind of get away from that a little bit, especially with these guys. I wanted the skin to feel like you could touch it, like it looks like skin. Because if I'm looking at like my forehead, unless I'm like Mr. Clean, I really don't have like a defined, like, bright shiny line along my forehead, or I don't have one on my eyebrows, I might have them like extreme circumstances. So I just kind of wanted to get closer to like an actual skin as opposed to the cartoony look, which again, there isn't anything wrong with it. It's just something I was trying to do. But with these, I really experimented on the side. I don't know if it shows it or not, but like on his rib cage, let's see. I don't know if that shows it or not.
No, you might have to post some pictures in the discussion.
Yeah, it's not really doing it. All right. Yeah, I'll do a little later when it's done. But I really like how it came out. And it's kind of like a mix of doing like paints and layers of washes and paints again. Makes it look really nice instead of just doing like a bland highlight. So I think it's kind of cool.
I like it. Good job.
Thanks. And also, the stomach lining is not just red. He's an old zombie. He's been around for a while, so it kind of looks like, I don't know, like a giant tapeworm. So
A giant tapeworm?
yeah,
You should.
All right, I'm going to think about that while I eat my Taco Bell. On that note,
That was great.
have a good night, guys.
All right, good night.
All right.
Everybody.
Bye.